Hey YouTube, hey, what's going on? Yeah, I'm gonna address a couple of things I saw in two different videos. One was Inmendham and one was to be serious. So I'm gonna address the Inmendham one first, just so I don't bore him with my to be serious dialogue or interaction. And so I was watching one of his videos, and we all generalize on here, so I don't have a real problem with that. But there's one thing he did say that I was like, well, I have to disagree. And by all means, if I'm misinterpreting something you said, let me know. Or if I'm, bending what you said, let me know. But this is how I interpreted what you said. It was in the context of uh, Citizen Worm said that Emendum said that evolution, strongest of the fittest, there is not working because uh, poor people are reproducing, um, and so that's that's sorta. I mean, I'm paraphrasing and I'm probably leaving a lot of stuff out, but so Eminem was responding to this, and what Eminem said was he didn't say that. That he said what his point was that poor people are having children and and they have less ambition in so many words. I'm sure there was more to it than that, but this is what I'm taking from what I remember. I haven't watched the video in a couple of hours, but and he said in general, people are having kids. That means they have less ambition. Now this is what I'm going to say. As a whole, I mean, if we're talking about this country being the United States of America, and we can throw Britain in there, I'm not from there, but I think we're a lot alike. Canada, as well. So as a whole, as a society, you know, uh, I would say that poor people and people in general uh, that are born into the society have less ambition, but due to whatever comfort. And I'll be the first to admit that I like being in a comfort zone. This sort of ties in with 2B's alpha male thing. I'm gonna raise my hand. I'm not an alpha male. I would much rather be on the team than be the leader of the team. I feel much more comfortable being in the mass, following, than being a leader. Uh, but to me, not everybody can be a leader, and not everybody should be a leader. So that works, and it works for me. That being said, uh, a lot of people know that my wife is from a South American country, and I will say this: her brother, her family, first of all, but her brother has a degree in engineering. Her aunt, who she's an entrepreneur, and she has her business, and she does support a lot of the other people when they're in need in that family, because we're talking about a depression, worldwide depression, but it's been a worldwide depression in the country she grew up in forever. I mean, basically, as long as she's been alive and before. So, um, eh, so um, I say this because if the roles were reversed, um, and I were growing up and we swapped places, uh, it'd be, yeah, he'd be doing a lot better than I'm doing here, and I would be doing a lot worse than he's doing there. Um, and you can see it in the immigrants that come here from other countries. They know what it's like not to have, so they have an ambition and they have a drive to. And these are all poor people, and a lot of them have kids. So, like I said, I don't know if I'm misinterpreting what you're saying. So I guess it's all circumstances, is what I'm getting at. It's not poor people don't necessarily have less ambition, and even if they have kids, they don't have less ambition. Some of it's circumstances. Now I want to get into 2B. 2B was talking about alpha male and talking about some of the stuff we were talking about in the last couple of videos. Um, One of the things I wanted to say was she said that the world's we're overpopulating and the world's overpopulated, but uh, it's hard for me to disagree with saying the world's overpopulated. I think the world has sufficient enough today and fastly running out. So, resources. We have enough food and water. The problem is getting the food and water to the people that need it so desperately, and a lot of that is political based, and not because we're running out. On the other hand, the more people we have on Earth, the less resources we have, and one day will become a problem. For instance, and I said this, when we talk about poor people and illegal immigrants, and I said this to somebody the other day that if the society implodes as a whole worldwide, if all societies and economies cease to exist, people like the Amish and the illegal immigrants will be in the best positions. The Amish produce things, and not just the Amish, I'm just using them as an example, but the illegal immigrants know how to survive and know how to work really hard to survive, and not just illegal immigrants, but sometimes immigrants from other places really know how to survive. Whereas if this happens tomorrow, I'm going to be the one hurting. So I made this video before, and I think it was so much better, but as karma would have it, I had to reload my video program. So I'm trying to do the same thing I did last time. It's not coming out exactly the same way, and that's unfortunate. Another thing I wanted to say was talk about this gender thing again. I think we sort of hashed that out enough, but I'll reiterate. I never said that one sex is better than the other, or that having more rational or logical, being more rational or logical, one sex being more rational and logical makes them better than the sex that may be more emotional. And I also never said once that because you're a woman, in my opinion, is more emotional, does not mean she can't be rational. I was just trying to point out that we're different. And Tubi wrote me on one of my videos, if my sons were daughters, would I allow them to study sciences and biology and chemistry and all that stuff? And of course, the answer is absolutely. I would never stop anyone from pursuing those goals. I would never stop anyone from pursuing any goals they want. I'm going to let you in on something again. I have an older sister who's gay, and my mother being that she's very religious, had a really hard time with that. I have a different perspective. Now, I told my mother one time that I have two boys, and I said, listen, I said, if either one or both of my sons came to me and said, Dad, I'm gay, I told her, I said, listen, I'm not saying it won't be something, I don't think I won't speak for everyone. I don't think many of my friends would say they would have a party if their kids came up to them and said that they're gay. Because some of it, you think about how it might be a little bit of a tougher life and just in our society in general. But I did tell my mother this. I said, I love these boys, and that if they came up to me one day and said that, they're gay, that I would not make a big deal about it. That I would simply say, oh, well, that's your business. And I truly intend, if that is the case, to say, okay, well, let's go eat. Or, sweet, let's go to the game. I'm not going to make a big deal out of it. And I'm totally going to support them and whatever makes them happy. And I guess I'm tying this into the whole gender thing because, the same as if I had a daughter and she said she wanted to be a rocket scientist. Of course, I'm never going to stand in that way. So, that being said, I wouldn't say I'd be overjoyed at the thought, but at the same time, they would get my support because my sister really didn't. And that's got to be hard. If you're telling your parents something and your parents may change their opinion of you, and to sit there and give them a hard time or make it harder than it already is, I think it's not very productive. So